New York Islanders preview. Year after year, it seems that the Islanders and Barry Trotz, they kind of fight their way through the postseason, only to lose twice in 2 years to the eventual Stanley Cup champs in the Lightning. And the Lightning, by the way, they're gearing up for three-peat. But the Islanders, largely unchanged identity and roster, plus the return from Forum, for the captain, could mean that it's finally their time for the cup. They've been the underdogs in the playoffs the last few years, but they've been poised on the edge of cup success. In the playoffs, they've continuously gotten better and better, refining their game as you're in the playoffs, and they play to their defensive strengths, building on each season like a building block. Sure, they're not scoring flashy goals or running up the score, but they could exhaust the team, capitalize upon neutral zone mistakes, and force turnovers like it's child's play going out of business. In the 18-19 season, they exited in the second round against the Columbus Blue Jackets. The next year, they exited in the Eastern Conference Final against the eventual champions, the Lightning. It almost feels like it's now. Now is the time. If you could get through that buzzsaw of the Eastern Conference. The roster hasn't changed much, but there's been a few notable additions, from the roster. Eberle, the biggest loss, taken by Seattle Kraken in the expansion draft. He was an expected loss, even with his cap hit, but his absence provided the Islanders with $5.5 million in cap space, a few wiggle room for a few veteran signings. Zdeno Chara, 1-year contract, come on over. No introduction. A locker room type of a leader in Zdeno Chara. Zdeno Chara, back in '96, player. Zach Parise, 37-year-old. 45 games last season, 7 goals, 11 assists. He's on the Islanders. Anders Lee wasn't able to play for most of last season and all of the postseason after torn ACL and surgery, but he's likely to be back for the beginning of the regular season. The only reasonable expectation seems to be the Stanley Cup final for this 2021-22 season. The Isles play a devastating modern trap style type of defense, and while they aren't the most offensively gifted team, the Isles have had no problem shutting down the neutral zone. This year, it's about refining their game, competing for a cup. Do or die for the Islanders this year. Hope all is well.